The Sealed Book of Mormon, chapter 85. For it shall come to pass that many of the poor and the needy, and those who are persecuted in other nations of the earth, shall flee the captivity of their souls, and come forth to the land of promise. And there shall be many who shall begin to humble themselves before the Father, and desire the eternal happiness, that is the blessing that he giveth by the fruits of the Spirit, which is given unto them who follow his plan. But because the plan of Lucifer alloweth those who follow it to aggrandize themselves, and get gain according to each of their abilities to get gain, and also power and glory over others, the great nation that shall be established as a land of the free shall be corrupted from its beginnings. And I have already mentioned this in this record, how the rich shall rise up and make law and policy over the poor, that they might acquire more gain and more power over the people of the land. And now the rich are not the only people who shall bring forth much misery among the children of men in the latter days. Yea, before the establishment of this nation, even soon after the arrival of some Gentiles, who shall come upon the land immediately after it is discovered by their explorers, there shall be many who are pious and the hypocrites, who think of themselves as the purest of the children of God, and that their faith and their religion is the only one of God upon the earth. And when a people beginneth to believe this of themselves, they become exceedingly wicked in their judgments of others. And it shall come to pass that there shall be upon this land those who profess to follow the words of Christ, but shall not do those things which he hath commanded of them, because his Spirit shall not be with them. For they shall persecute and cause to be killed anyone who doth not bow down to their religious leaders, and abide by the precepts that these leaders shall introduce among the people. And they shall cause many of the Lamanites to be killed, whose only crime unto them is their desire to be left alone and live in peace in the lands that they had inherited from their fathers. But these hypocrites shall persecute them and hate them, and cause them to be destroyed by their weapons of war, which weapons shall be unlike any other weapons that the world hath ever known up until this time. And these weapons shall be called flintlocks and rifles, and all manner of guns, which by very little effort can take the life of another by him who raiseth one of these weapons against another. And with these weapons shall the Gentiles begin to destroy the Lamanites, and also all those who do not abide by the commandments and precepts taught unto them by the leaders of their churches. And with these weapons Satan shall cause to be introduced into this land the means of the greatest wickedness that one human can commit against another, except it be for murder. For the Gentiles shall go into other nations of the earth, and by force enslave the inhabitants of these nations that are poor as to the things of the world. And without the weapons to stand against those of the Gentiles, many souls of the children of God shall be subjected to slavery, and torn away from their wives and their children and their own country, and placed on great ships to be traded and bartered upon by the rich, that they might have slaves to work and to get them gain. Now this thing is most abominable before God. And the brother of Jared wrote, saying, Never in all the history of the world have I seen such brutality by the children of God against others. And the victims of this servitude crieth to God who had created them, that they should die, and not be led into slavery to work in a strange land, away from the nation of their births, having no hope of freedom. And this great sin upon the earth caused my soul to be burdened, in that I could no longer bear to witness the great wickedness of the rich in purchasing as merchandise the souls of men, who they thought were beneath them. And I cried unto the Lord, O Lord, how canst thou suffer that these things come to pass among the children of God upon the earth? Cannot the Father show forth his omnipotence and stop this treatment of one child to another? And the Lord said unto me, Behold, it is not the will of the Father that these things shall come to pass, but he hath granted all of his children their free agency to do that which they want for their own happiness. And these things which thou hast beheld are those things which are most abominable before him. Nevertheless, he shall have mercy on his children, even those who shall be held in slavery by their brothers and sisters, even that they shall be strong in spirit, and shall rise up in power one day, according as they have been cast down to be trodden upon by the foot of man. Fear not for their souls, for they are children of the Father, and he hath prepared a place for them. And he alloweth these things, that his children might understand that which is capable of coming to pass, when they follow the plan that Lucifer hath outlined for them. For behold, none of the blessings of happiness that Lucifer hath promised unto those who follow him shall come without another being taken advantage of in some way. And all these miseries shall be upon the heads of the rich and the powerful, as thou art about to observe in vision concerning those things of the latter days. And now I, Moroni, also have great cause to sorrow because of those things which I have read concerning these things which shall come to pass among the Lamanites, and also among the people of a dark skin, who shall be brought into this promised land in chains, that they might serve the lusts and the greed of the rich. And these are not the only ones who shall suffer at the hands of the rich, but there shall be many poor who shall suffer in their poverty in the other nations of the European Empire. And these shall be desirous to come into this land and partake of the freedom that shall be promised to them. But they shall sign over their lives to the rich, and subject themselves to indenturement, which shall endure for many of the good years of their lives. And these who are thus indentured shall also be bought and sold as the property of the rich, who shall justify their abuse and wickedness by declaring that they are the more righteous lot of the creations of God, because of their knowledge and their seemingly endless blessings from God. And thus it shall be, because Satan is their God. And when any of these shall rise up in defiance of their mistreatment by the hands of their masters, they shall be killed by the guns that the rich shall have among them in abundance, whether of their own person or by the command of the government that hath sworn to protect them. And there shall be no man that shall stand against the fire of a gun in the latter days, for these weapons shall cut the flesh and destroy anything within its path. And it shall come to pass that as the rich grow in their abundance, the poor also shall grow and become more numerous than the rich. And if these poor rise up against the rich, then they shall be deterred in their desires for their lives by the weaponry of the armies that are hired and controlled by the rich, which are mandated by the judicial system of their government. And when they cannot justify their murders of the poor and their servants, they shall cause prisons to be built up, that they might enclose the passions for freedom of the poor within, and that they might subdue the desires of the poor to go against the laws of the land, which shall be established for the rich, by the rich, and because of the rich. And it shall come to pass that because of the rebellions of the poor who shall be among them, many of the rich shall band together and desire to form a nation, which shall be a symbol of their power, wherein they can establish laws so that they can control the uprisings and the profits and the political power of the poor, who are the majority. Yea, these rich men, who ye of the latter days honour and call the founding fathers of your nation, shall create among you a national system of ways in which they might maintain their riches and also maintain their power over the poor. And with this power that they shall have over the hearts of the poor, whom they have deceived with their pretended illusions of freedom and prosperity that they shall create for the poor, the rich shall engage in war against any who oppose them. And in this way the captains of their armies shall gain the glory that they desire by the blood of their soldiers, which are from the families of those who are poor. And the great merchants of the earth shall rise up and increase their wealth as the souls of men are enslaved further under their power. In fine, the fruits of the plan of Lucifer shall begin to show forth, even at the beginning of your nation. And it shall come to pass that the rich shall call upon those of their class who are great orators, and who are skilled at using great words, which shall deceive the people and hypnotize them and bring them under the power of their desires. And this shall be the great purpose for the patriotism of a nation, as I have explained it unto you previously in this record. And the poor shall be led to believe that if they support the policies and the laws of the rich, then they too might become rich by these same policies and laws. And because of their envy and their own greed, the poor shall allow themselves to be persuaded by the cunningness of the politicians, who shall be selected from among them, who are already rich, very much like unto the Romans at the beginning of their government. And it shall come to pass that those who shall be the leaders among the rich at the beginning of this great nation shall convince the poor, who are the majority among them, that all of their problems are because of the mother nation, which is that great European empire that requireth taxes from the people without representing their interests across the great oceans. And this plan they shall devise to deceive the poor into taking up arms against their own government, so that the rich might control the revenue of taxes themselves, thus bringing their own laws and policies more in line with their own personal wealth and gain. And thus it shall be, as these men, whom ye of the latter days have honoured with great glory, set up the seat of Satan of the latter days. And it shall come to pass that with their cunningness and their expertise in deceiving those who cannot read, and are generally the poor among them, the rich shall produce a declaration of independence from the mother nation that requireth a tax of their riches. And this declaration shall further deceive the poor into thinking that the rich care for them and look out for their best interests, and that the rich are only doing what is good for all in equality. And it shall come to pass that by the blood of the poor, the rich merchants of the United States shall establish themselves as a great nation. And with the continued flattery and admonitions of their politicians, the rich shall continue to rule and wield great power over the poor. And the poor shall be convinced that this new form of government is wise and inspired by God, so that liberty and justice for all might come to pass. And there shall be liberty and justice, yea, but not for all. For the enslaved and the poor and all the women of this nation shall have no voice in the government of the people. And they shall establish a constitution which shall offer the people the opportunity to observe the actions of these politics in service to all. And a democracy shall come forth in which all might have a voice in the way in which they are governed, except it be for the poor and the enslaved and the women. And after many years a voice shall be given unto all the citizens of this great nation, that they might feel in their hearts that they are a part of the government that shall create the laws that shall govern them and control their lives. And ye of the latter days shall be continually deceived by those who are your leaders, and ye shall not notice the ways in which Satan shall take control over you and bind you with chains of iniquity. And ye shall begin to wonder of what cause is your wickedness before the Lord. And have I not been plain in my words? Have I not given unto you in plainness the reasons for your great wickedness? Yea, doth not this record cry forth unto you in plainness, that ye should not be deceived and wonder any longer? Yea, your family units are the beginning of your wickedness before the Lord, and I have already shown unto you the great wickedness that can arise by separating yourselves into these family units and forgetting to love your neighbours, and doing unto them what ye would do unto the members of your own family. And because of your love of your families, ye shall seek for the riches of the earth to give unto them, that their lives might be easy and blessed with happiness, as ye suppose. And as ye seek for that which will sustain your families, ye suffer the poor and the needy, and those whom ye have caused to be imprisoned, because of your families and your desires for riches, to pass by you, that ye notice them not, because ye are concentrating on your own family. And ye want your own family to be protected. Therefore ye shall support your governments in their wars that are waged against the families of other nations, who also are children of the same God as ye all are. And ye shall justify the righteousness of your wars against them, because ye are led to believe that they are a threat to your own family. And if ye followed the plan of God, then ye would realize that these other nations are of your own family, and therefore ye would not take arms up against them to destroy them. And your wickedness before the Lord doth not end with your families, but it beginneth with your families. And because ye have isolated your children away from the rest of their brothers and sisters, which are the children of God, they shall begin to believe that they are a special people, and that they deserve to be treated better than those who are not of their own family. And they shall seek for the things of this world, which ye have taught them shall give unto them the happiness that they desire. And they shall not care for another if he should die. Yea, if the death of a brother or a sister in God doth not affect their lives and their happiness, then they shall not take notice of this death. But if a member of their own family should die, then they shall suffer in misery and sorrow for the loss that they suppose hath affected their own happiness. And now it is in acquiring the things of the world that the children of men shall cause the most sin among them. For it shall come to pass that the people of the United States shall have an abundance of all that which they desire. And they, being a small number of people in comparison with the rest of the other nations of the world, shall consume upon their lusts and greed more than all other nations. And when they shall sit down at their tables and partake of the food that they eat, they shall take no thought of him who made possible the food that they eat, even that which they need to live. For the poor among you shall work in the fields under the heat of the torrid sun, and harvest that which ye need for your nourishment. And then these poor shall return to their houses after working all the hours of the day, trying to provide for their own sustenance by the wages that ye shall pay them to harvest the food for your own bellies. And their houses shall not be like unto your own, but shall be of a poor construction, because of their inability to earn that which they would need to have a house like unto yours, because ye have kept back from their wages that which would give unto them these things. And ye shall think of them as those that do not deserve that which ye are blessed with, because of their words, or the lack of the knowledge that they would need to be one who deserveth to sit at a table made of the fine things of the earth, even as a rich man who laboureth not for that which he eateth. Behold, how many of you of the latter days are willing to labour in all the hours of a day in the heat of the sun, to obtain the food that ye need to sustain your lives. I say unto you that none of you who are rich shall have a desire to do this thing, but thinketh that this type of work is below the dignity that ye have supposed for yourselves. But I say unto you, when the Lord cometh in the glory of the Father, he shall employ himself as a labourer in the fields amongst those who are his friends and whom he loveth, because of their humility and love for him. And these are those of whom he has spoken when he said that the poor and the meek and the lowly of heart shall inherit the earth, and sit in the houses that are left desolate by the rich, even those of you who would not labour by the sweat of your own brow, to provide your own table with those things that ye would eat. And now there shall be many of you who shall read these things, and shall think in your hearts that ye do another type of work that is important to the world, instead of working in the fields to produce the food that ye do eat. But I say unto you, of what importance is the work that ye do? Do ye do anything that produceth that which ye need to sustain your lives, even that which can feed you, or clothe you, or provide you with the shelter from the natural elements of the world? I say unto you that ye do not employ yourselves in any of these things that would sustain your lives. And if you were to do one of these things, then ye would not be rich, for ye would not have the glory and honour of men, which is that which ye would need to be given of those things that have made you rich. For it shall come to pass that this great beast of the latter days shall place a value upon all aspects of the lives of the children of men, and there shall be a value placed upon all the things of the earth, even a value that shall be determined by the merchants and the leaders, who shall fornicate lavishly with the whore of the latter days. And this great beast, of which John hath given you an example in his words, which ye have among you in the Bible, and also of which I have given you an explanation, shall set a value on the whole world, because of the wickedness that shall issue forth from its mouth. And this great beast of the latter days, of which John hath written, shall begin to prosper and spread its borders throughout the entire land of my fathers. And Satan shall begin to introduce many powers of the eternal laws of nature into the minds of those men, who shall take these powers and control them for their own gain.